Released in 2000 for the Nintendo 64, Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to the critically acclaimed Ocarina of Time. However, it takes a sharp turn in tone and design, offering a more intimate and unsettling experience. The story begins with Link, the hero of time, searching for his lost companion Navi in the mysterious Lost Woods. This sets the stage for an adventure unlike any other in the Zelda franchise. Along the way, Link encounters the mischievous Skull Kid, who is under the influence of the cursed Majora's Mask. The mask's dark power twists Skull Kid into a malevolent force capable of unimaginable destruction. Skull Kid steals Link's horse Epona and knocks him unconscious, dragging him into the parallel world of Termina. In Termina, Link finds himself transformed into a Deku scrub by Skull Kid's magic. Stripped of his human form, he's thrust into a land of unfamiliar and teetering on the brink of catastrophe. Above it all looms a horrifying moon, its grotesque face locked in a sinister grin, drawing closer with every passing moment. If it collides with the earth, all of Termina will be obliterated. Link's only hope is the Ocarina of Time, a relic of his past journey. With it, he can reset the 3-day cycle, giving him the chance to unravel the mystery of Skull Kid and the Majora's Mask. But this mechanic comes with the cost. The world will reset each time, and all progress with its inhabitants is erased, leaving Link to witness their struggle over and over again. Termina itself is a world rich with detail and brimming with tragedy. Its 4 distinct regions, the Southern Swamp, Snowhead, Great Bay, and Ikana Canyon, are each plagued by their own unique curses. These aren't just obstacles for Link to overcome, but deeply intertwined narratives that reveal the pain, fear, and resilience of Termina's people. The true heart of Majora's Mask lies in its characters, from the grieving Deku butler who mourns his lost son, to the tragic tale of Mikao, the Zora guitarist who dies protecting his people. Every interaction adds another layer to the game's emotional depth. These aren't faceless NPCs, they're individuals with hopes, fears, and lives disrupted by the impending apocalypse. At its core, Majora's Mask is about more than just saving the world. It's a game that forces players to confront the fragility of life, the weight of time, and the sacrifices necessary to bring peace. The journey to stop the moon and defeat Majora's Mask is as much about healing as it is about heroism. Majora's Mask delves into themes rarely explored in video games, especially in the year 2000. It's a game about grief, loss, and lastly of time. Each region of Termina reflects a stage of grief. The Swamp's denial, where the Deku King refuses to accept his daughter's disappearance. Snowhead's anger, embodied in Darmani's restless spirit. The Great Bay's bargaining, as Lulu mourns her stolen eggs. And Ikana Canyon's depression, where death and decay are inescapable. Link's role isn't just to defeat evil, but to bring peace and closure to the people of Termina. The Song of Healing, a recurring melody in the game, symbolizes this perfectly. It transforms pain into acceptance, allowing characters to move forward. Every mask you collect tells a story, and behind each one lies a deep emotional wound. This isn't just a hero's journey, it's a journey through the human psyche, exploring how people cope with fear, loss, and impending doom. The moon itself serves as a constant reminder of mortality, an unavoidable fate that hangs over all of Termina, urging its inhabitants to either face their fears or succumb to despair. The game also explores themes of community and individualism. The people of Termina each have their own struggles, but they're all interconnected by the shared trauma of the moon's descent. Link acts as a catalyst for hope, uniting them in small yet meaningful ways, whether it's helping Kafei and Anju reunite or giving Crimea and Romani a brief moment of solace. Majora's Mask uses its setting and characters to paint a clear picture of life under pressure, where every decision carries weight and every moment feels fleeting. It challenges players to reflect on how they spend their own time, making it one of the most thematically rich games in the Zelda franchise. When you first play Majora's Mask as a kid, you're probably captivated by the mechanics, the time loop, the mask, and the dungeons. But as you grow older and revisit the game, its mature themes become glaringly obvious. Romani's story, for example, is haunting. She speaks of them, mysterious beings that abducted her cows. When they come, she's terrified, and if you fail to help her, she's left traumatized and blank-eyed the next day. Or take Kafei and Anju's quest. a tale of love and loss, where the two are separated by a curse, yet determined to reunite, even as the world ends. The game's mature content isn't just in the narrative, but the atmosphere, the looming moon, the panicked townsfolk, the eerie music. All these elements create a sense of dread that's impossible to shake. Ikana Canyon is perhaps the darkest region in the game, a desolated land filled with the undead. Its story revolves around lingering regrets and the consequences of past actions. The Elegy of Emptiness, a haunting melody that creates lifeless statues, is a chilling reminder of the emptiness left behind when we're gone. And then there's the ever-present threat of the moon. Its grotesque face and restless descent symbolizes impending doom, a fate no one can escape. As a child, it's just a scary visual, but as an adult, it becomes a metaphor for the inescapable passage of time and also the inescapable death. The beauty of Majora's Mask lies in its ability to grow with you. What might seem like a quirky, dark adventure as a child reveals itself as a profound exploration of life's fragility and resilience when viewed through the lens of an adult. Majora's Mask is beloved not despite its darkness, but because of it. It dared to take risks. Creating a Zelda game that's deeply personal and intimate, the world of Termina is smaller than Hyrule, but it feels alive. Every NPC has a schedule, a story, and a role to play in the grand narrative. The game's time loop mechanic reinforces this intimacy. You're not just saving the world, you're saving individuals, helping them find closure in their final hours. The repetitive nature of the loop allows players to immerse themselves in these personal stories, learning every small detail about Termina's inhabitants, and forming a deeper connection with them. Another reason Majora's Mask is so beloved is its emotional depth. Take Kafei and Anju's quest, a narrative that spans all 3 days and requires precise timing and attention. Their reunion at the world's end is a moment of bittersweet triumph, a reminder of love's resilience, even in the face of inescapable destruction. The masks themselves are more than tools. They are symbols of transformation, identity, and sacrifice. Each major mask, the Deku, Goron, and Zora, represents a life lost, and Link's ability to embody these fallen souls adds a somber weight to his journey. The Fierce Deity Mask, granted only after completing every challenge, serves as a powerful reward for those who engage deeply with the world and its characters. Majora's Mask asks players to invest emotionally in its world. Its stories, characters, and themes resonate long after the game is over. The emotional connection players feel with Termina's inhabitants is what makes this game unforgettable. It's not just about saving the world, it's about understanding the world you're trying to save. Majora's Mask is a masterpiece of storytelling, atmosphere, and emotional depth. It's a game that challenges conventions and leaves players reflecting on their own lives, their own relationships, and how they spend their time. That is why it remains one of the most beloved entries in the Zelda series. Majora's Mask isn't just a game, it's an experience. It is a reminder that even in the face of despair, we can find hope, connection, and purpose. Its darkness isn't there to scare us, but to challenge us to look deeper, to see the humanity in its characters, and perhaps in ourselves. Whether you played it as a kid or discover it later in life, Majora's Mask leaves a mark on everyone who experiences it. So what does the game mean to you? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, sometimes the greatest adventures are the ones that challenge us to look within.